All right. Back again for the...
Yes.
I believe this will be the end of season 2.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. We didn't... 2 years, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We've been cranking it out for 2 years.
2 brothers.
2 brothers, 2 years. 100 years, 2 brothers.
100 years, 2 brothers.
Nice.
Get these goddamn fucking white brothers taking our Google search results. Ugh. Fucking assholes.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I wish our SEO engagement was that good.
Well, we just need to start a feud with a popular podcaster.
Do you know any that we could start a feud with?
Let's call out Joe Rogan every time we record, and eventually he'll have us on, and we'll get.
He'll have to. I mean, if we call him out enough times,
we could do a Mim Bam, me and brother and I, or whatever.
I don't know who that is.
They're the popular my brother and me. Yeah, they're like the super popular brother podcast. They're our competition.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, as if we, yeah.
we're the scrappy fighters, and they're the fucking we're Rocky and they're Apollo Creed. So.
I wish we were Rocky. That would be way better. We're like the guy you never hear about in the Rocky movie.
But yeah, actually, speaking of such, since we somehow got into boxing immediately, I finished Hajime No Ippo.
You finished it?
Yeah, why not?
My God, that's a lot of Hajime No Ippo. I mean, it's great. I mean, it's
well, you wouldn't know because you haven't finished it.
Yeah, I've never finished it. I stopped at like episode 70. Excuse me.
I mean, did you even get to the Dempsey roll, Steven? Yeah, exactly.
Like
so you don't even know about the entire show. The whole show is that. It's the most important
Dempsey
thing.
roll, Ippo. Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, the Dempsey roll.
That's like the most important thing of like the entire show. You didn't even get to like
season 1, 62. I think I probably have seen that.
Okay, all right. I think last time you said you stopped at 60, but if you stopped at 70, then okay.
Yeah, well, I honestly don't know where I stopped.
I know you don't.
Yeah, I was a teenager when I watched Hajime no Ippo. So.
Yeah. Fair enough. Anyway, it was very good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope they make more because it's not fucking done. Like where they stopped it was not the end of the show by any means. So
and the manga's still going apparently, which is insane.
Yeah, so I could do with some more. I mean, and like, it's amazing how much better in the later seasons the animation quality got.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like, the first one was like, Gundam levels of animation, and then I was just like, okay, cool. I mean, it wasn't quite that bad. I'm exaggerating a little bit.
No, it was... I don't remember the animation ever being truly terrible.
No, it wasn't. It was no Hikaru no Go. It was...
yeah.
It was better than that. But, so I watched that. What else have I watched? We're in the midst right now. Oh, actually, yeah, let's talk about that since you mentioned it last time. So we watched, what was it? Kaiji?
Oh, Kaiji. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Great.
Yeah. So we watched. It is a Kaiji, right? That's the.
Yeah, Kaiji. Yeah.
Yeah.
The genius who descends into darkness.
Yeah. So we watched that, and we're watching Kaiji right now.
Oh, and Kaiji. Yeah. That's also another great one. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because
they're essentially the same.
Well, I mean, you say that, right? But like, so you kind of confused me because we were talking about Squid Game last time, and you were like. Yeah. Oh, yeah, like, you should watch Akagi then. And, I mean, I watched it, but I would...
No, I meant Kaiji.
Okay,
yeah.
That's...
Yeah.
I figured.
Literally consider those two to be interchangeable in my mind, even though I know they're, like, one's about a totally different thing.
Yeah, they're pretty vastly different. I mean, I know they're both about gambling, but,
they're
like...
just gambling mangas with, like, characters who are, like, have really sharp noses and chins. And it's just, like, at that point, I give up. It's like, okay... The characters look similar, and it's about gambling. They're the same.
Yeah,
I know they're not, but they might as well be.
I mean, the main character, other than their appearance, is like they could not be more different. Because I mean, Akagi's so fucking like I don't know, OP.
Yes, Akagi. Yeah. He only ever loses out off screen to the main character of another work that the author did, who was even more OP than him.
And apparently this author has a lot of trouble writing these goddamn things because I think they're they only finished the arc of like where the anime ended like a couple years ago, and he started it in like 1997.
Yeah, I mean,
still sitting in that room with that fucking old guy for 20 years.
Robert Jordan, George R. R. Martin.
So basically what you're trying to say is he should have been a fantasy author.
Berserk, got rest in peace.
Yeah, I was about to say, didn't he pass away?
Yeah, just like, I don't know. I'm so used to, like, the guy who wrote Hunter x Hunter, who was also the guy who did Spirit Detective anime. Mm-hmm. You know it. It was Adult Swim. Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, his name. It's just like that. They like manga artists have such an unhealthy work ethic that they just like drive themselves into the dirt, and then they never recover from that, and they just like slowly die while never finishing their stuff.
It's a thing. It is absolutely a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
hell yeah, nice.
So yeah, so
what do you think of which one did you like more?
Well, okay, so we're still watching Kaiji. We're on the second season. I think we're somewhere in the middle of the second season, or maybe the end. I don't know. I have to take a look at how many episodes we still have left. But we're in the second season of Kaiji,
Nice.
which I'm enjoying Kaiji quite a bit. Because Kaiji, I feel like there's more there to like latch on to. Whereas
it's
like
not just mahjong.
Yeah. Whereas Akagi, I was like, I it doesn't do the sports anime thing that I needed it to do of it actually explaining mahjong. I mean, yeah, it flashed shit up on the screen for like half a second, and I'm like, okay, yeah, thanks, Akagi, but you know, like, I don't really feel like pausing the episode every like 10 seconds for you to tell me what, you know, all of these fucking mahjong terms are. Like, I needed to sit down and, okay, here's how mahjong works. It's like I didn't really start to grasp it until like halfway through, and I was like, okay, now I think I basically understand what's going on with mahjong.
I mean, if I remember correctly, it's just like, did you get a set of mahjong tiles?
Yeah, but it's like,
right?
It's slightly more complicated than that, because it's like you need to get like a certain number of like pairs or triplets or whatever. I think it's mostly pairs and some triplet. Anyway, you need to get a certain amount of like matching tiles, but then those tiles have to have a certain quality to them. Like you have to have like a match of like wind tiles, or you have to have a match of
just go fish.
Well, yeah, but it's like, because it's like a combination of what's that game that that card game we always played at home?
Old Maid?
No, the one with fucking where you make melds. Canasta.
Canasta.
Yeah, so it's like a combination of like canasta mixed with fucking like poker, basically, because it's like you need some type of like poker hand thing mixed with a bunch of melds, and it's just like once I got it, I was like, okay, I get it, but it was just like it's a whole thing. So many terms, many terms.
Yeah.
So
they're all interchangeable, though.
Yeah,
for purposes of the anime.
But like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like a lot of times with those animes, like some of the tension comes out of it, because it's like, well, I mean, obviously he's gonna fucking win. Like,
well, yeah. I mean, I mean, so you've recognized the problem with all anime.
But see, the thing is,
of
though,
a certain kind.
Well, but the thing is, though, is like that's not always the case. And so I'll just say this right now. Like, so last time we talked, I was gonna say, you know, I don't want to talk about. Well, I did say I don't want to talk about Hajime no Ippo until I get further into it. And so spoilers now if you're going to watch Hajime no Ippo. But basically, like the point that I was at when I was watching it, like he hadn't lost yet.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, is he going to lose? Because it's like you got to make him lose at least once, you know? Like, because I mean, like there's other sports animes like where. Like they lose more frequently, you know, it's like, and there's actually some tension there of just like, are they actually going to win this one or not? You know? Whereas like in this, it's just like after a couple times I was like, oh, okay, this is just the creator was like, I really love this character and I want to make him win at everything in the most ridiculous ways. It's like, okay, that's fine, you know, but then it changes the way that I watch it from like, okay, well, how is he going to get out of this ridiculous situation, you know, to, ooh, is he going to win or not? It's like, well, that tension's gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. What was your point?
Oh, I think that was the point.
Oh, okay. but Hajime no Ippo eventually he loses.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry. Okay, yep, you're right. Yeah. With Hajime no Ippo, like, and that was the thing is like I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want you to tell me whether or not he loses at a certain point, because it's like if I know he's going to lose, it's like okay, and if I know that he's not going to lose, then it's like either way would ruin something for me. So
you've already watched Hunter x Hunter, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I mean, how early does he lose in Hajime no Ippo?
He loses around when you stopped, because it's the Date-san fight is when he loses.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I honestly don't even remember him losing. So if you had asked me, I probably wouldn't have been able to tell you.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. But yeah.
I mean, it's like, 60 episodes is a lot of episodes when it's just boxing.
You know what, man? Like, I somewhat agree with you, but at the same time, it's like, I could say that about basically any sports anime,
Yes, I would say that about all sports anime.
But, like, I still like it, like,
oh yeah.
If they manage to keep the tension there, and because like I think it's a combination of keeping the tension of whether or not they're going to win or lose, combined with like them actually improving over time, because it's like, oh, they would have lost to this kind of thing before, but now they have this new trick up their sleeve, and it's like, so I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm just like a dumb person for finding that entertaining, but if so,
no. Hajime no Ippo is beloved.
Yeah,
I don't think you can lay a lot of criticism on it. It's pretty great.
Yeah, but Akagi, I got bored pretty fast.
Yeah, I never finished Akagi. I've also never finished Kaiji. So I mean, I don't finish many things.
I just need to start assuming that like anytime you recommend something to me, you've seen like 2 episodes of it.
I've seen like 8 episodes of Kaiji.
That's not enough. I mean, yeah.
No, it is enough though.
But see, the thing is, like, because you probably never got off the boat.
No, I definitely never got off the boat.
Yeah, I mean, like, it becomes a different anime after he gets off the boat. Like, it doesn't continue in that vein necessarily, but.
Sure, but it does definitely 100% continue in that vein necessarily, because he goes into another wacky situation where he has to gamble to get out of it.
Yeah, but it does. But then after
it's
that,
a different situation.
Yeah, I mean,
no, I mean it's that's not like a it sucks statement. It's just like, yeah, cool, I get it, and I did get it.
I guess I would just say that only the first 2 arcs were really like Squid Game. Everything else past that is not really.
Oh, interesting. Really?
Yeah. I mean, he still gambles, obviously, but like it's not the same kind of like, go to a situation and then like, everybody gets a number and you fucking do the.
Oh, well, sure, not literally, but it's a life or death gambling game.
Yeah, I mean, but it's different, like it's not like an organized thing past those first 2 arcs in the same way that Squid Game is.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. And also, I mean, I guess by the same token as well, because I see where you're coming from with, okay, it's similar to Squid Game, because I mean, like the first episode, like the first arc, like is. But like the thing that I like about Squid Game wasn't necessarily there, because the thing that I like about Squid Game is the same thing that I like about the Hunter exam, and the same thing that I like about like 3%. That show that I mentioned the last time, the one where they're, they have to
on the island.
Yeah, to try to get to the island. Like is with those games, it's not so much about, with those shows rather, not games. With those shows, it's not so much. I mean, it is in a sense you could call it gambling, but less directly. It's more of just like a. You could quit at any time, but you're so focused on this one particular goal, that you want to keep at it. Whereas like Squid Game, it's like they were very much trapped in that situation of their own making to some degree, because they all decided to stay. But like, so some of those other games, it's like it's more about being eliminated. It's like with the Hunter exam, it's like, well, you could quit the Hunter exam, but can you really quit the Hunter exam?
Yeah, no. Once you've done the running part, you definitely can't.
And I
die.
And I just like that like increasing series of like weird games and stuff like that, like gradually narrowing down people, for some type of further thing, which Squid Game sort of does, and which is why, like, when we were talking originally and I'd mentioned Battle Royale, and you were like, Battle Royale, because there's no downtime. And you're absolutely right. Like, Battle Royale is like, in another one of these, it would be like one of the games of like a series of games. Whereas like Battle Royale is just the thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I want to, do you know any more things that are kind of like that? It's like the kind of, everybody kind of gets together and it's like a continuing series of like, gradually narrowing down people over time.
Kind of. It's like there are a lot of death game animes, like Assassination. Oh no, sorry. I don't want to say that one yet. Death Class, I think, is one anime. Not Assassination Classroom. Okay, so I mean, it's gonna come up, so I'll say it. So there's an anime called Assassination Classroom, which is kind of like a One Punch Man-esque take on that genre.
Oh, neat. Okay.
You'd like that. It's really good. I mean, I like it a lot, and I've actually finished that one.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's good to know in advance.
Yeah, but no. Yeah, it's kind of like that. What's the one I'm thinking of, though? There's one specifically that's like just that in a classroom. And of course, it's not going to have it, because why would it? Why would the internet help me in this case?
Well, yeah, I mean, the internet never helps anyone.
Not Assassination Classroom. It's like, it's about assassins in a class, but it's not Assassination Classroom. God damn it. Nope, it's that. I can't find it. Oh well.
No worries. If you
But
think
you
of
would
it,
like Assassination Classroom.
I would. Okay, so Assassination Classroom is the one that is like One Punch Man, or a One Punch Man like take.
Yeah, it's a One Punch Man take on. It's like a deconstruction, reconstruction of the death game class. It's more like Battle Royale in a way, because it's focused on one goal the whole time. Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of like quote unquote games, but there are games. So
Okay. Yeah, I'll give it a shot. I mean, I'm down with it. There's a couple things I want to watch ahead of that, but
oh yeah, what are you planning on?
so I have Odd Taxi on the list.
Oh yeah, I've heard really good things about that. Have not watched it myself, but
I will let you know if it's any good, because people rave about that.
Yeah, I mean, seeing clips from it seems like it's really good.
Yeah.
It seems like one of those, it's not really an anime, it just happens to be an anime.
Yeah, no, that for sure. Because I mean, like, it's just like the art style just seems so, and all the characters are like, weird animals and stuff. Like, I like it. It looks really interesting. So I'm gonna I'll let you know how that is. And then I threw a couple sports animes on there. We watched Burning Kabaddi.
Is that the one about that like crazy Thai sport?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I mean that's fucking.
Yeah, it was really. Yeah, I think it's actually Indian, I believe.
Indian, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, but it's like it was way cooler than I thought it was gonna be. I was like, It's like this seems like this like kind of like weird version of like adult Red Rover, and I'm like, okay,
yeah,
but it is, and like that's actually
so cool.
Yeah, and then I threw like whatever that basketball anime was on there. Ace of the Diamond I threw up on there because I'm sure it's a sports anime. I'm sure they're both good. So
what's the best basketball one? Like
Kuroko's basketball.
Kuroko's basketball.
Oh, is there another one?
Yeah, there's another one.
Slam Dunk?
Slam Dunk. Yeah, I'm almost positive that's what it is.
Okay. Is that even on Crunchyroll? Oh, Slam Dunk is on. Oh, wow. 101 episodes. Jesus.
Oh, but it's on. Oh, Kokoro no Basket. Kokoro's basketball anime. Okay. No. Yeah. So that is the one I was thinking of, actually.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah. We also watched Fina Pirate Princess. That one's brand new.
Oh, is it a movie?
No, it's an anime.
Oh.
But I mean, it is like.
It's weird. I've never heard of this one.
Yeah, I mean, it just came out, so really, really good.
Well, I mean, it finished airing already, right?
Yeah. It just recently finished airing.
Why didn't it show up on the season thing? That's weird. Usually, I know at least all of the animes that are airing. Is it on my anime list? Is it just called? Oh, Kazuku Ojo. Oh, okay. No. I did hear about this one. I never watched it.
It's good. It's beautifully animated. I mean, like it's kind of like it's almost like got that what's it called? Miyazaki type of like animation levels.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is the one about. Yeah. She leaves the island because she doesn't want to like get sold.
Yeah. It's very good. It's very good. And then what was the other thing that we watched just recently? Fuck, what was it? Oh, Remake Our Life. That was really good. It's one of those like goes back in time type of animes.
Okay.
It's about somebody who he would have gone to art school, but then decided to go to business school, and then decides his life sucks and just wants to, wishes that he could have made the other choice, and that he does, and then things happen. It was really good. So I'm hoping they're going to do another season of it, because it was really it was very engaging. I enjoyed it. So yeah, those are the things that are kind of up on the list right now, man.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, and Food Wars, but. I just put that on.
Oh my god, yeah, you're watching Food Wars?
I mean, I feel like I have to.
cooking fight anime.
I don't think it's actually that good, from what I understand.
No, yeah.
But what I also understand is it's very entertaining. So, yeah. Food Wars. I put it on the list. How about you, man? What have you been up to?
I'm watching Succession.
Yeah, you were mentioning that last time, so that's still that's good.
Yeah. I guess I caught up finally, so I'm now watching it week by week. It's good. It has like, I was watching it as like a plot show initially, but it's become clear that it's just a soap opera. It's a very well directed like soap opera, but it is just that. So it's a little bit more, I don't know, ephemeral. I don't know how to describe it. It's just fun and frustrating.
So what you're trying to say is it's not The Wire.
It's not The Wire.
Yeah.
It is not. It is just a soap opera about horrible rich people.
Okay. Fair enough.
And some people describe it as a comedy, but I don't find it funny really ever.
Maybe a very dark comedy.
A very dark comedy, yeah, to the point where it's like barely a comedy.
Cool.
And then let's see here.
Oh, how's Deathloop?
Oh yeah, Deathloop. Yeah, you haven't tried it yet.
I have not tried it yet, so don't. I mean, I don't know how much there is really to spoil.
There's not really. I don't feel like there's a lot of spoilers. You get most of what it is within the first like 10 minutes. It's fun. Okay. I like it. It's Did you play any of the Dishonored games? Yeah, I played Dishonored 1 and 2 definitely.
Oh, okay. I mean,
cool. I played all the Arcane games from Arx Fatalis up.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, I like all of them. They are a consistently good studio, and this is more good stuff.
Okay. That's what I figured. It looked, even from the outset, like when I first saw the trailers, I was like, oh, that looks really fun. Okay.
Yeah, it is. And there's like a Dark Souls style invasion system.
Yes. Which
is cool.
Yeah, with Juliana or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, yeah.
My only complaint is that there isn't a time stop ability.
Oh, okay.
Which is just like, I loved being able to do that in Arx Fatalis and Dishonored 1 and 2. So I'm a little disappointed there's not that.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to play that game a lot differently because with Dishonored 1 and 2 I went through both for like a non-lethal run, and I have no intention of doing that with Deathloop.
Yeah, it has the same sort of like system as Dishonored though, where like the more you kill, the more the game like reacts to that.
Okay.
So like all of my every time I see a like monitor or computer screen, there's like a picture of my face with the word kill above it. And I assume that if I was not doing that, there would be capture or something instead.
Okay. Interesting.
It's also, did you ever play Moon Crash?
No.
That's the Prey expansion DLC thing.
Yeah.
It's very much like that, where it's like, it's a very like, it's system heavy. Like you like have like a home base and you like manage your equipment from it, and then you like go out into the world from that menu like on different times.
Oh, okay.
It's interesting.
I will have to let you know what I think. I mean, we'll probably talk more about it once I actually get down to playing it. But yeah, I wanted to just get your initial impressions because I saw you played it quite a bit. So clearly you enjoyed it to some degree.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
Excellent.
It's definitely the kind of game where you like play it for an hour and then you like don't play it. It's not a like.
Yeah, no, I could see that.
Consume endlessly game.
I feel like I was the same way with Dishonored, although that might have been partially a result of my play style, where I was like, okay, I need to like do something else for a while because meticulously quick saving through to get a non-lethal run is exhausting.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know why I do that to myself, but for some reason with Dishonored, I always feel like I just need to, like it feels wrong to do anything else. So
well, no, because you're not supposed to.
Yeah,
Dishonored punishes you when you do that.
Yes,
I mean you're right.
Now, I have to ask. So I sent you. Did you ever play the original Warhammer Space Marine?
No, I never did.
Oh, okay. So that might be why I did not, because I sent you that trailer for Space Marine 2, but I didn't get as much of a reaction out of you because I thought for some reason you had actually played that already.
No. I mean, I just shooter on rail shooter game. Despite, I mean, it's cool that it's Space Marine and everything, but like, I don't usually go for that style of game.
Yeah,
it's like Doom, right? It's like Doom's great, but like I'm never gonna play Doom. So
I mostly agree with you, but Space Marine fucking rocked. Like there was just, I don't know, maybe it was riding very much on the whole concept of it being a Warhammer 40K game, and maybe that was part of the reason why I latched onto it so much. But I mean, I'm not the only person that really like had a blast with that game, because it's like, instead of being like it's a cover shooter, it's like no, you are the cover. You know, like, you're a fucking space marine. You're covered in armor. It's like you run in and you murder things with your chainsword. Like, so I enjoyed that kind of like, it's like because it's got that same kind of feel that like even the tabletop game has of like you're shooting up to the point where you can melee. You know, it's not a game of, you know, stand there and shoot, and then if things get close, melee them. It's like you're running up to things and shooting them so that you can get into melee range and just absolutely, you know, splatter them across the pavement. And now that there's Tyranids, which, you know, I was always kind of hoping that like the first game was going to have that, and when they, you know, when I got the sense that we were going to have a sequel, I was like, oh, I hope it's Tyranids. And then, you know, there was no space. Then I never thought that this game was going to get made, because it's like, you know, it was years and years. I mean, it's been forever since Space Marine came out. And I just never thought that we were ever going to get a sequel to it. And then we did, and I was very excited.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for Tyranids, certainly. I have to wonder though, I wonder if the guy who did those Space Marine like YouTube shorts worked on that cinematic, because I know they hired him.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they hired him, which sucks because now we don't get any more of those cool Space Marine videos.
I really hope the Astarte series. Mm-hmm. Yeah, those fucking rock. I hope
those were amazing.
Yeah,
but
yeah. So I
probably
hope
never anymore.
That sucks.
Hopefully he's working on this game, and his cutscenes will be in the game, because he really captured everything I like about Space Marine.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, like, I love that scene where it's like, you know, they fucking like they open up the doors, like where I think it's like where the other people were like shooting at them, you know, and it's just like they're like I said, they're the cover, you know, they just stand there in the line of fire, because it's like,
yeah,
I'm covered head to toe in armor, motherfucker. Like, I'm gonna kill you.
I am a tank.
Yeah. So I love the 40K universe. Like, I want more games, more good games to come out of the 40K universe. And I know that they dipped their toes into it, because I saw that they it was maybe like 6 months to a year ago, they had showed like as a Warhammer 40K VR game, which
that would be cool.
Did not look very good, mind you. But like, I'm hoping that like people are thinking about it, because I would love a fucking Warhammer 40K game, like a good one in VR, because I mean, how fucking cool would it be to like be a fucking Space Marine with a giant bolter and shit? Like,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I hope all these things do well. But yeah.
Speaking of VR, actually, I've been playing a game called Legendary Tales.
Okay.
Which is like, imagine Blade and Sorcery, but like with a game. It's kind of like Diablo 1, but Blade and Sorcery, like combat mechanics.
Ooh, okay.
It's like you're fighting skeletons and goblins, and it's really good. The real appeal is that it's multiplayer, which...
Oh, shit, really? Okay.
...is great. So me and the roommates have been playing that a lot.
How is the syncing of, like, the sword fight? Like, can you actually have sword fights in VR?
Not against other people. It's co-op only.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah. But you can, like, dungeon delve with your friends in VR, which is a lot of fun.
That sounds... Okay, and what's that called again?
Legendary Tales.
Legendary Tales. I have to put that on my wish list, because that actually sounds really, really cool.
Yeah, it's fucking great. We just finished, like, the normal mode last night. Now we're on hard mode, I guess.
Very nice. No, that sounds really cool.
It is early access, though, still. So they still need to add... Like, there's only 2 enemy types so far. What is cool though is there's like puzzles and like platforming sections. So like you have to like climb ropes and like jump to platforms and stuff, and that's very interesting to do in VR.
Interesting, good, or interesting?
Good.
Okay.
Good. No, good. I mean, very janky to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Like one of the hardest ones is you have to like swing yourself from a rope onto a ladder, and it's like that's difficult to grab a ladder in midair in VR.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But it works. They do it.
This looks really good, man. Yeah, no, yeah. I'll have to check this out. I haven't plugged in my VR headset in quite a while, so maybe it's time. I did see that Blade and Sorcery got like a quote unquote adventure mode where you can kind of go through like an area and like.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
The Dungeons update, I see.
Yeah, the Dungeons update. So, like, because I was going to plug it in to try that, but, I mean, this seems like also that, so...
Yeah, they're just doing that, exactly, yeah. With non-human enemies.
Nice.
Although the skeletons are essentially human enemies, obviously.
Well, yeah. It's human enemies without all the fleshy bits.
Yeah. And what's cool is there's, like, unique weapons,
mm-hmm.
and we thought they were just going to be, like, skins... but one of my roommates managed to get like a Captain America shield. So it's like you can throw it.
Oh, that's awesome.
It literally does like an eagle scream as you throw it. And then he also he got really lucky, and his other unique weapon he got is like Mjolnir, so he has a shield he can throw, and he has an axe he can throw, and the axe will come back to his hand as he throws it.
Oh, that's fucking great.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Nice. Yeah, I have to check that out. I need to get back into VR. It's been one of those things where it's just like it's been sitting in the box, and I keep wanting to play it, then I keep getting distracted with other things. So it's Christmas is coming up, so that might be a good time to pop it out and
break it out. Yeah,
absolutely.
And other than that, I'm just I'm going through Dark Souls 3 again, just in preparation for the Elden Ring.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. That's coming out soon, right?
Yeah, fresh bodies to defile. Lots of new people who don't understand Souls games are going to be just so ready for me to kill them in PvP. I can't wait.
Yeah. Oh, February 25th. Okay. Nice. Yeah, I'm excited about it. I was kind of wondering. I was like, are you playing Dark Souls 3 in preparation for Elden Ring? Of course you are. Of course you are.
Just, getting back into the swing of it.
For sure. Now, I did send you. I've been making some music recently.
Oh yes.
I did send you some tracks. I don't know if you what you thought about them.
I mean, you're pretty good at making music. They all seemed, at the very least, they all seemed like something I would hear in like an indie game.
Oh, nice.
Like especially, what is it, Spacey Outrun?
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, I could see that being like a rogue-like soundtrack.
Nice. Okay.
Same with Techno Thingy.
Nice. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, definitely hear Earthbound battle music influence on that one as well.
I mean, it's always there, I can't get away from it. Yeah. Excellent. Cool. Well, shall we move on? Is there anything else you wanted to discuss before we move on to some albums?
Nope. I'm good.
Let's do it, man.
Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. So hopefully, for everybody that if you didn't listen last time, this time around, we're gonna do 4 albums that we really like, that we both really like. This is no surprises here. This is not one of those Steven's gonna recommend stuff that I've never heard, and I'm gonna recommend stuff that Steven's never heard. It's like, no, we've heard both of these. We've listened to them a million fucking times, and so now we've listened to them a million times plus a couple more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And what did you
actually?
Go ahead.
This was way harder to do. I'll say, than like listening to new stuff.
Yes.
Because it's like I've heard all of these albums so many times. It's like, yep. It's like my brain just like turns off like very quickly.
Yes.
While listening to them, and it's like, no, I have to pay attention here.
I had a lot of trouble like focusing on what was going on and like picking out things that like I specifically like, because I'm like, oh, I just love this album. All right, I'm just gonna sit back, and it's like, no, you have to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, especially with Gazpacho, it was just like I started listening to TikTok, and then like the album was over, and it was like I didn't hear any of that.
Yeah,
none of that got through to me, actually.
Yeah, that's accurate, and it's not because it's it's like the album all kind of blends together. It's just because it's like you fall into you fall into just kind of like a different headspace because you've heard it so many times.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not being surprised by anything. It's like, yes, oh yeah, I like this song. Yes, oh yeah, I like this song. Oh yeah, I like this song.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this part, I like this part.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, what albums did you recommend, Steven?
I recommended Adam and Eve by the Flower Kings and When the Sweet Turns Sour by Echolin.
Yes. And I recommended Sound of the Apocalypse by Black Bonzo and TikTok by Gazpacho. Oh, by the way, before we jump right into the albums, I can't believe I forgot this, and then I just realized, how was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, yeah, great.
Excellent. Yeah. Smoked turkey again?
Yeah, smoked. We bought 2 turkeys because there were so many people. There wasn't like a really big one, but we ended up only eating once. We had a whole leftover smoked turkey.
Jesus Christ. That's always the way, though. It's like, you're like, oh my God, we'll never be able to feed anybody with these turkey. Yeah. But with this turkey, we better get a bigger one or get another one. And then you're just like, oh, fuck, this is a lot. And I also,
for the first time, I got like a full-sized ham from Honey Baked Ham.
Oh, damn.
So we had like 8 pounds of Honey Baked Ham. Oh, my God. Oh,
fantastic.
That was so good.
Nice.
How was yours?
Good. I made, so for the stuffing this year, I used like a combination of French bread and pumpernickel.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Dude,
Amazing.
Pumpernickel. I'd do all pumpernickel next time. It was amazing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Pumpernickel, very delicious.
Yeah, because I definitely do I do half stuffing mix and half like staled bread.
Yeah. I mean, actual bread is the way. Is the way. I also made homemade cranberry sauce again this year, which is always delicious and really fucking easy and way better than the canned stuff. So I'm always happy to do that.
I mean, May makes homemade cranberry sauce as well.
It's delicious, right?
I don't eat it, so I don't know. I don't love cranberry sauce.
Well, then that's the end of that. I
eat a lot of stuffing, mashed potatoes, and ham. And a turkey leg, and a smoked turkey leg. I mean,
that does sound delicious.
Yeah.
I am kind of tempted one year to like instead of doing it like the whole turkey of like parting it out into like the leg, the breast, the thigh, all that stuff, battering it and deep frying it.
Oh my god. Yeah, good luck.
It sounds amazing though, doesn't it? It's like fucking just like
sounds really good. It sounds like a nightmare to make though.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a pain in the ass because I'd have to fucking, I mean, deep frying always. I have deep fried plenty of things before, but like it's always a pain in the ass to do, and then you have just like a vat of oil you have to deal with and whatever. But deep fried things also delicious. So yeah. But anyway, yeah, can't believe. Sorry, so can't believe I forgot to mention Thanksgiving. But anyway, let's return to the episode. So. Which album would you like to do first? What album do you have the least to say about?
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe
then
TikTok?
Let's go with that then. Let's go with TikTok. And actually, I will mention, by the way, before we jump in, I found it very interesting. Because we've done a good number of these music podcasts now, and I think it's accurate to say this is the first time that we've done any prog bands.
Yeah.
And they were all prog bands.
Yes. Well, because prog is like, that's like a phase of my music. I kind of consider it almost like metal, where it's like, I feel like I got everything I needed from the genre.
I know what you mean. I feel the same way about prog. I mean, I listen to so little of it now because it's like the bands that I really like are the bands that a lot of them are the bands we're talking about right now. Yeah, so it's like metal, obviously that didn't occur. I continued to listen to more and more of it, but that it is what it is. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I get to the point where I'm like, a lot of the prog bands nowadays start sounding really samey to me, but I'm sure that all the prog heads out there are going to be like, no, I can't believe you would say that. There's that.
I mean, old prog is samey too. Just like wanky, wank, 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 guitar wank, 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 then like small vocal section followed by more wank. And like the wankier you are, the more prog heads like it.
That's probably true. Yeah. I feel like these bands are so different from a lot of other music that I've listened to, I mean, maybe not necessarily the Flower Kings.
I was about to say, the Flower Kings are like straight up prog. I mean, like, they have 2 20-minute songs on the album that I recommended.
With the exception of Flower Kings, which is just a straight ahead prog band. I feel like the rest of these, I feel like are pretty unique.
Yes, no, for sure. Yeah, none of them really sound like prog.
Yeah,
within reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's talk about TikTok by Gazpacho. So, I mean, that was mine. I mean, I guess we're not really gonna be able to do this in the way that we normally do. Of exactly. What'd you think? It's like, what did you? Everybody, what did you think? Yeah, everybody. We both thought they were great because we both like these albums.
Oh yeah, TikTok by Gazpacho. I love that album. It's really good. I mean, like specifically, it's like the vocalist for Gazpacho. I mean, I guess for all of these bands, I really love the vocal work they do. It's like there's a lot of range going on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even on the first Desert Flight, let's just start from the start, right?
Yeah.
Just like he's immediately just belting out, and it's like he has such almost like he's his voice is twangy.
Yeah, he's got such a unique voice. Like, I haven't really ever heard anybody that sounds quite like him.
Yeah, but it's almost like he's doing legato. It's been too long since I've done music class, but it's like he's what's the thing where it's no break between the notes?
Yeah, legato.
Oh, it is legato. Yeah, it's like he's legatoing his own voice. It's like every word he says kind of flows in really well to the next word.
Yeah, no, he's almost like bending around through his notes, you know. He's like it's very much like like you said, all the notes are, but it's almost like kind of trombone like in the sense that like it doesn't even really just like go from one note to another. He just kind of like slides in between each note.
Yes,
which I love.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a different word for it. I'm almost positive, but
but yeah, I mean, even initially, like the guitar tone on Desert Flight, like that really dirty, it's like, it's like there is something about Desert, like every time I hear this song, like I can picture it, you know. That's the thing that really stands out for me in this album. Is this album is it captures the actual thing that they're talking about so well. Like I really like I don't know what it is about, like, because it's like I don't know if there's anything necessarily inherent in any of the things that they're, and there must be because I'm getting it, but like I don't know, I couldn't pick out for you what it is about Desert Flight or The Walk or any of that like says to me crashing a plane in the desert and then walking across the desert to try to like get back to civilization. But
is
like,
that what this is about?
You know what, Steven? I'm always surprised, and yet I should never be surprised.
Yeah, it's like, what do you mean? This is what this album is about? I had no idea. I thought maybe it was just like a Western themed album in some way, but that was about all I was getting from it in that sense.
Oh God, yeah, Steven, this is an album about crashing your plane in the desert and having to walk across it. That's the Desert Flight and The Walk, and like.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, huh? Yeah, never got that. Nope, not even a little bit.
See, you know, this is why we do these things. Just have no, like, I mean, okay. You know what? I'm just gonna leave that aside because there's nothing that could be said there. But yeah, so I've always found this album to have a very strong imagery. That was what I was trying to get at. Very strong imagery, which I would love to have heard if you agreed with that, but apparently the answer is...
I mean, it does like... Okay, here's what I always got from this album.
Go for it.
It's like, to me, it's like, this is like a lone gunman, like, going through the desert for the last time as he, like, reminisces on his life.
Oh, interesting.
That's what I always got from it. That's wrong, apparently, but, like... Yeah. I did understand, like, it does give you that feel of, like, a Western, like, journey, for sure.
Well, yeah, because I mean, like, there's like that one line, it's like that one bullet to a man. You know, it's like, because it's like, okay, well, we've got a gun, so it's like, you know, if we start starving to death, we could just shoot ourselves, like, type of thing. Yeah.
I always took that as like one bullet to a man, and then it's one. Just like that's him like defeating the enemy.
Yeah, you got a totally different view of this album. It's so interesting. It's so interesting. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm just kind of combing through random parts of this now.
Yeah, same
it's
here. Yeah, I mean, one thing I'll say is they do a really great job with their like Opeth transitions, so to speak, where they're like going from soft to grunge.
Yeah,
I really love. I mean, everywhere on this album where they do that, it feels good.
Yeah,
some artists, it's like it feels like you're listening to two different songs sometimes, whereas I never feel that way. They always manage to blend everything very well. Yeah,
no, it's because in the way that, and I know that you criticize Opeth for this, and I think you criticize them rightly, is they have very much of a all right, hard metal section, and then literally like smash cut to acoustic guitars, smash cut to hard metal. Like this very much, I mean, even in the first song, like...
Yeah, they do it constantly.
Yeah, like you're listening to it,
it's never jarring.
Yeah, it's like that hard guitar, you know, going in, and then like there's like a slight vocal break.
Yeah, it's like, so yeah, like 250 on the first song. It's like, and then you got the like, oh wait.
I mean, even earlier than that.
I was a little early.
Because I was going to say around 44 seconds on the first song. And like, you're switching into like, you know, you got like the pad, you know, in there, like the synth pad and all that. Like it's immediately goes to calm, and then they just, you know, jump back between them. But like it feels really natural. And yeah, I don't know, something about that guitar tone just really reminds me of Flying Across the Desert. Don't know what it is about it, but it really, God, yeah. I just love. And you're right, like. I think you mentioned this on the last podcast when we were talking about what albums we should do. I don't know if I kept that in the final cut or not, but every time this comes on when I'm in the car, I have to listen to it. You know, I never skip Gazpacho.
Never skip it. Yeah, it's always like, oh yeah, Gazpacho. I love this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this album rocks, man.
Yeah, It's and I mean, so I'm on the walk part 1 now. Listen to that, and it's just like, yeah, he does such a great like grungy vocal.
When you say grungy vocal, what do you mean?
Sorry, I mean he does such a great vocal with the grungy guitar.
Okay, there we go. That makes more sense. Yeah.
And then just like he transitions so effortlessly into like the soft singing at the start of Walk Part 1.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's almost like they're almost like a post-rock prog band.
You know, that's a really good description of it, because I mean, when I think of post-rock, I do think of bands that have like, they're trying to really create like some kind of like picture or something with what they're playing, you know?
Yeah.
And this does that, you know? This doesn't feel like in a way that like a lot of prog bands, when they're doing a concept album like this, right?
Yeah.
Which
I never realized this was a concept album.
Yeah, well, of course you didn't, Steve. But you know, when most prog bands are doing a concept album, it very much has that feeling of like a stage play type of thing.
Yes.
Of like,
yes.
And this doesn't.
Flat.
Yeah, this really doesn't have that feeling to it, you know?
Yeah.
And it could easily, you know, like it could have easily gotten that way, but this feels more like painting a picture in song than it does running through a musical.
Yeah, they a lot of times prog bands will compromise the music to like get the idea across of their concept album. I'm thinking like, you know, Devin Townsend to a certain extent does that. Like Ziltoid the Omniscient like really does that.
Oh, okay. I was about to really disagree with you, but you're right. Ziltoid is kind of the exception to that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, does he have a lot of other concept albums?
That's what I was about to say. I was like, what are you even thinking with concept albums with Devin Townsend?
But that's not even there's a much worse offender, but I can't remember. They're like a prog metal band though. Avalon. They did like the one where it's like they're trapped in like a crystal maze. Oh my god, I wish I had my not Avalon.
No, because they're an American contemporary Christian vocal quartet from Nashville, Tennessee, so probably not Avalon.
Fuck.
Arion?
Oh my god, yes. Oh wow, you actually thought of it. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, there was really only two choices. It was going to be that or Arion.
Yeah. Arion is one of the worst examples of this.
Into the Electric Castle.
Yeah, Into the Electric Castle, where it's just like, man, like you could have like really toned down your like stage play bullshit. Whereas like Gazpacho, it's like they put a lot of like actual feeling behind all of the stuff that's in this.
Yeah. One of the standout tracks for me, by the way, TikTok Part 3.
Let me get to that. I'm sorry, the Walk Part 2, dude. Just like
the Walk Part 2 is excellent. And again, it's got that really kind of like again, walking through the desert, like they're deep in it now, you know? And so like it starts out very like ponderous, you know, and like it just like it evokes all of the emotions that you'd want to evoke.
Yeah, like right around like 50 seconds, 45 seconds, I guess.
45.
And just like the lyric we were talking about. Man,
oh yeah. Has a gun, one bullet to a man. I love his fucking voice, man.
Yeah, and he's the element that really brings everything together here. Oh.
But yeah, listen to the very beginning of TikTok Part 3.
Yeah, that piano. Yeah,
the piano like matched up with the drums in there. It's just like, it's so perfect. And then like, you know, I love how all of the TikTok like have that kind of TikTok type of rhythm to them in different ways, you know, like the one in TikTok Part 1 is very like
heartbeat.
Yeah. TikTok Part 1 is very much more prototypical, whereas TikTok Part 2, like it starts getting harder, but it's still in there, you know, and it carries forward.
Have you ever listened to Marillion?
Yes.
This TikTok Part 1 in particular reminds me a lot of Marillion. This whole intro part of TikTok Part 1 with the heartbeat and like the like techno, like the electronic like beat going on in the background, that to me screams Marillion, like flat out. Just like, that's Marillion.
Now, in fairness, I've only listened to one Marillion album.
Which one?
I'm Clutching at Straws. That's the one.
I don't think I've ever even heard that one.
They're one of those you have because you literally it's on. I? Yeah, I mean, I've only listened to Marillion because it was on one of your things, and you probably got it from Mason, as you do.
Yeah, of course, yes.
But yeah, Clutching at Straws is the only one that I've listened to, so I know that you've listened to it.
Yeah, I really only listen to Marbles by Marillion now because I think it's their best album, and it's also very different from their other stuff. But anyway, that reminded me of them, and I might recommend that at a later date. Then, if you've never heard Marbles,
I think you should then,
because I think you'd like it a lot. Oh yeah, and then the opening of TikTok Part 2, just like that, like guitar like riff they're doing.
Yeah,
that's why it's so hard. It's like the whole album is so consistently good.
Yeah, no, I mean, and you're right. Like that's I think one of the things that makes this album so good is it's so tight as an album. You know, like every song flows really nicely into one another, and like
there's really only 4 songs.
Yeah, I'm just adding it up, right? I mean, like, how long is this album? It's like it's very short.
16, 22, 31.
Yeah, it's about like 49 minutes.
It's 49 minutes. It's nothing.
Yeah, that's a short album, and it goes by really quickly, and it's like it's hard to pick out individual songs, but at the same time, it's so like it's cohesive in like a good way, because it's like, you know, you could like you've mentioned with concept albums, is like sometimes it's like if you're not listening to the entire concept album, like it just sucks. Because like the individual pieces are not good music on their own. They're just, you know, they're just ways. Yeah.
Oh,
whereas every individual song on this is great in its own right.
I mean, we're not going to talk about Black Bonzo yet, obviously, but just like saying that, it's like there's so many times when like there's intermission songs or like transition songs that are like throwaway.
Yeah.
And like that don't fly with Black Bonzo. We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. Oh.
So.
And I love the way they like so many prog bands are like unwilling to do electronic work, right? They're like, no, guitars, drums, bass only. That's what we're doing, and we'll do crazy chord structures and wank it, but like we're not gonna put electronic sound. And it's like Gazpacho fully embraced electronica.
I don't know if I totally agree with your police work there, Lou. Just because it's like, I mean, I feel like synthesizers, like. What I feel like they will play those synthesizers live, you know? I mean, like, fucking...
But never is like... I mean, this might be me, like, choosing my memories here, but, like, it always feels like they're, like, replacing an instrument with the synthesizer.
Oh, versus just adding on top of it?
Whereas Gazpacho was, like, using it as a layering tool.
Okay, I might agree with that. Because I mean, I'm thinking of like the bazillion instances where Dream Theater and shit like will throw in all sorts of like crazy, you know, like stuff on the, because I mean, like Rudris has like 6 keyboards on stage, like, and you know, and a
like
laptop.
Instruments.
Okay, yeah.
Whereas like TikTok, this feels to me like almost shoegazy in the way they use their like effects.
I could see that. Yeah,
you know what
I mean,
like,
there's a lot of. I don't know how easy it would be to
something.
play a lot of this stuff live without a laptop.
No, God, yeah.
But yeah, man. Any other things to say on TikTok?
I mean, I could go through each of these songs and like be like, oh yeah, this part is really good. Like 4 minutes in a TikTok Part 2, I love the like like the effect they do there. I don't know how to describe it. I can't do it with my voice.
You know, here, let's do this on these albums, because I think because yeah, we could, right? And then this podcast would be like 7.5 hours. Let's end each of these sections with, why should people care? Like, why should they listen to this? Like, why do we like this so much? And I think in this case, and I'll try, and you tell me if I'm hitting the nail on the head. Is just like, the reason this is so good is because like it's such it's very unique. Like, I don't know that there's another album that sounds really like this album, and it's so well put together. Like, it does not sound amateurish at all, you know? Like, this is in a way that sometimes prog can sometimes sound a little bit hollow, you know, or like the sound is not that full because it's like, you know, and we'll maybe get to that with some other, I think maybe with the Ekelin album.
Yes, I was about to say, the Ekelin album, definitely.
But like, so I mean, it's such a solidly put together album, but it's also so much, like, it's just so fucking interesting to listen to. And it's just like, it's a treat, you know? It's a treat because it's like, you'll probably never hear another album that's really like this.
Yeah. And it's so full. It's like, it really hits like musically and emotionally. Mm-hmm. It's a great album. And we haven't even talked about Winter Is Never, which is like, I feel like one of the best tracks actually on the whole album. Just like, oh, his voice. I mean, for me, I'd say like a good 50% of my love for this album is the fact that the vocalist is just like on point 100% of the time.
No, I mean, he has one of the most unique voices in all of music, and like it is on full display in this album. Yeah, no, he's so delicate in this.
Yes, delicate. Oh, that's a great word to use. Yes, yeah. It's so carefully great.
Don't know what the lyrics are,
exactly,
but
Winter is never.
Yeah, I know. He's just like, oh god, fucking so good.
It's like literally the that outtake demo song on the end there, Independence Day. It's like that immediately is like less good. In a way.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't even really consider that part of the album.
It reminds me a lot of the people that did the Priest in the Lake or whatever. Not the Deer Hunter, but not the Deer Hunter, the Deer Hunter.
Oh, I don't think I've ever heard that.
Whoa, ooh, you've never heard the Deer Hunter?
No, I don't think so.
The Lake South, the River North, and there's a song on it about the priest, the pimp and the priest. That's what it is. Oh, if you've never heard the Deer Hunter,
put it on the list, man.
Definitely,
I've never heard it
on the list. Yeah, you would love that because that
probably
last song there sounds a lot like what they kind of do.
Interesting.
Yes, TikTok, amazing.
I know, I totally agree. Obviously, because
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep saying that, forgetting that. Like, yes, this is. I'm gonna have to cut so much because it's gonna be like, okay, fucking, this is just gonna be me saying, oh, this is great. It's like, yeah, Jason, we fucking know because that's why you did this. So let's go on to. I'm really gonna struggle with this because it's interesting, right? Like we did this album first, and normally our way that we go about things is that it tends to be like the album that we like the most is the album that is we talk about later.
Yeah.
I actually think I like Gazpacho more than Black Bonzo. Like, I think I like this album more than I like the Black Bonzo album, but I think I have more to say about the Black Bonzo album. And in a similar way, I think I like, I know I like Adam and Eve more than I like Sweet Turn Sour.
Yeah.
And but I have way more to say about the Sweet Turn Sour than Adam and Eve.
I definitely recommended the wrong album, by the way.
Oh, did you?
For Ekelin.
Oh,
I meant to recommend. I still like this album a lot, so it's fine. But I meant to recommend "The End Is Beautiful." That's what I was actually thinking of when I. That's
okay because I have never heard. Actually, have I heard "The End Is Beautiful"? Hang on, because I don't know if
I also love all of Ekelin's albums, so this was really tough. It's like I like Ekelin, and I like "Suffocating the Bloom," and I like "And Every Blossom," and "As the World," and "When the Sweet Turns to Sour," and "Cowboy Poems Free," and "The End Is Beautiful." It's just like. This was impossible for me. I was always going to be disappointed by my choice because I love all of them so much.
Except for the 2012 album.
Oh yeah, and the 20. I refuse to listen to the. Yeah, no. I listened to the 2012 album like once, and I was like, oh, that's not Ekelin. You guys have changed.
You know what I figured out with that? I figured out what it is. It's a Beardfish album.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
if you think about it like that, it makes so much sense. It sounds like a fucking Beardfish album. That's why I like it so much because I love Beardfish.
Yeah,
and that's what 2012 Ekelin sounds like. It sounds like getting another Beardfish album.
Yeah. They lost all of their like folky like acousticness.
Oh yeah, no, it sounds like a completely different band. It's just like I don't know what it is about that album, but like, and I don't know if you actually did what I suggested you do, which is listen to the first what is it?
No, I did not.
Yeah, like just humor me if you would.
Sure. Yeah.
Listen to from 320 to 420 on that album.
Yeah, it's just like what is this? This is not Ekelin. Like what is
but
this?
Like
what is this bullshit?
Listen for the full all the way to 420.
Yeah, I mean, like the vocalist remained the same, but the band changed around him in a way that I do not like.
So you didn't like that didn't do it for you at all.
No, it's the bass line. It's like that bass line. So good though. That bass line, but it's not Ekelin. It's like Ekelin does not have bass. They are a treble band. And it's like adding like a smooth bass line like that just makes them sound like every other band to me. It's like okay. I liked how shrill and high pitched Ekelin usually is.
Okay, that's fine. It's just like that.
Great. I mean, it's a great bass line. It just shouldn't be in an Ekelin album. It is, but
that 1 minute for me was like, oh, I have to. I need this whole album.
Yeah, as soon as that bass line comes in, I'm done. That's like I'm out. I'm out, man.
Okay, all right. I mean, there's nothing I can say then. Because I mean, like, for me, that is like one of like the best like 1 minute of music Like, it's just so, like, his voice and the bass line and, like, just everything the way... anyway, so, okay, I won't belabor the point. I really like that fucking album.
Echoland uses drums as a bass line, but they're using a bass guitar as a bass line. It's like, that's wrong. You guys did it wrong. You made the wrong music.
You made the wrong music. Okay. So let's talk about let's not jump too much onto Echoland because I want to start with Adam and Eve.
Oh, okay, sure, okay.
Yeah. I want to go there first because I feel like I have less to say about Adam and Eve than I do about Echoland. And Echoland is a little bit denser, whereas Adam and Eve is just like my responses are a little bit less. But so
waterfall, a midnight monsoon in a moonlit tropical station. It's like I've memorized all of the lyrics to Love Supreme.
It's a great track, and I think that part of the reason why this album in particular by the Flower Kings rocks so freaking hard is because Daniel Gildenlow of Pain of Salvation sings on a bunch of it.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. And he's all in like A Vampire's View, which is one of my favorite songs of all time. That's him the whole way through.
That's Gildenlow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Doesn't that make so much sense now?
That makes a lot more sense. Yeah, that does. I never knew that.
Vampire's View is got one of the best like parts of any song ever. Where and I'll get to it.
Yeah. Are you talking about the 2:30?
No, 4 minutes.
Oh, because I love the 2:30 part. Down to the bone. Just like,
that one's good though because it's like, there's no man in the mirror. It's just me, and I hate what I see. All the things that I said, I saved inside my madness. It's like, fucking god damn it. It's like, I mean, it's like a fucking movie is what it is.
Yeah, it's
like,
great.
It's so good. Like, you know, if I complained before a little bit about bands doing too much of a stage play, it's like, okay, but if you really, really lean into it, like in Vampire's View, it's like, I mean, this could be in a musical about fucking Dracula, and it would be amazing.
Yeah. Even I like fully understand A Vampire's View.
That's good because it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
But let me listen to 2:30.
Strip down. Yeah, it's just the vocals. I just love that.
Yeah, but I mean that transition though at 4 minutes, like I just it's incredible. It's incredible, and like all of the singing on this is so fucking fantastic.
And it's also one of the reasons I really love this album is that it's uplifting.
It's extremely uplifting.
Yeah,
you know,
in a way that virtually no music that's good is uplifting. Like there's very little uplifting music out there, I feel.
Yeah, I mean this is such a feel good album.
Yeah, I just like the part in Love Supreme where he's just like, you know,
I think we're trying to find the same part.
Yeah, 12 minutes.
Oh, yeah, that part is so great.
Just like nothing describes. I don't remember what the German word is for like the feeling that everyone has in their own life. Zonder, but like nothing captures Zonder more for me than that like 30-second bit of lyric.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, oh my god, I get warm fuzzies from it. It's great.
Yeah, and it's got like, and I think this is Daniel Gildenlow singing part of this.
The whole thing is so happy. I love it. And then the rest of the album is really good, other than the titular track Adam and Eve, which is, I don't know, I like it less now than I used to, I guess, because it feels a little dirty.
Yes,
in a bad way.
Yes. Yeah, that's kind of the track that I think even though there's some really good parts on it, I think it's probably the one that I do like the least.
Yeah, it's not, but it's followed by Starlight Man, which is like another super amazing, so good, and Cosmic Circus is so good. Just happy, such a happy album.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was looking for. So, around 14 minutes 10 on Love Supreme. Mm-hmm. Every time a politician is telling the truth. I think that's got to be Daniel Gildenlow singing that, because it's like, you know, the way that he sings, and it's like I love the kind of like the way that he goes from that really scratchy like throat voice into like that like very soft, like it's just so fucking like it's just like beautiful. Like this album, that's the thing. This album is beautiful.
Yes. Yeah. And then that same section in like 1445, a little before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But that wasn't the part that I was thinking of, though. What was the part that I was thinking of? Is that Starlight Man?
Yeah, I mean, there's another transition in that for sure. I'm the starlight in your mind.
What's the song?
Yeah, sorry,
song where it's fine? What's the song where he's like, "Oh, the world is better because you're in it," or something like that?
I think that's still Love Supreme.
Is that Love Supreme? Hang on.
Yeah, pretty sure. Because that's what the Master's Hand.
Oh yeah, it's perfect. Oh yeah, that's right. It's a beginning of Love Supreme. It's
In reaction. Yeah, 245.
Hang on.
Be without you. This world couldn't be without you. Yeah, it's like, yeah. I mean, this song has informed so much of my like worldview, honestly. Yeah, it's just like
perfect because you are.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah,
just,
no,
like, my whole view on regrets like comes from that. Just like, how can you regret something? It's how existence is.
Yeah.
If it wasn't that, you wouldn't be. So it's beautiful.
And I think again that particular line is, again, that's Daniel Gildenlow singing on that part, because it's like, I mean, this. He's one of my favorite vocalists. Like, it's like him and Devin Townsend are like two of my favorite vocalists of all time. And so like anytime he's in something, I'm just like, ooh, I'm so excited.
Yeah, I never knew he was on this album. That's so cool. Oh, yeah. He was an official member of Flower Kings. Oh, wow.
He was briefly an official member of Flower Kings, I think only for this album. And he's all over this album.
Yeah,
and
it's so good. He's
great.
It's definitely my favorite album by them.
God, he's so fucking great. So yeah. I mean, so go ahead.
I was gonna say, just because their first Flower King's first album is also really good. Back in the World of Adventures.
I was surprised you didn't recommend that one, but like, I love this one more.
Yeah, this one holds nostalgia for me in a way that Back in the World of Adventures does not. Also, Back in the World of Adventures has like the Holocaust song, which is a real downer. So I don't really. It's a good song, but like Train to Nowhere is a real like, oh boy. Ugh.
Is that what Train to Nowhere is about? Okay.
Oh yeah, it's wow, I know something about a song lyrics that you don't know. That's crazy.
You do.
Yeah, it's the Holocaust song, and it always ruins the album for me because it's really nice and upbeat until then, and it's the Holocaust song, and it's like, oh right, yeah, we're horrible. Fuck.
Now it's gonna ruin it for me too.
Oh yeah, great. Yeah, good. Now you can listen to Adam and Eve more.
I gotta find the one part though in Driver's Seat that I need to talk about.
Oh yeah, well before we talk about Driver's Seat, I just want to say Timelines. Just
Timelines.
Like the song before Driver's Seat, just like the transition at like 55 seconds to a minute.
That reminds me so much of Ekelin. Like, yes. If Ekelin had more like volume.
Yeah,
I know, I love it too.
It's such a gentle, nice album. I'm gonna say that a million times, but it's just very few music albums are like this. They're either pump ups stuff or they're sad stuff, but there's very little just like Coen Brothers music to talk about a previous podcast, right? It's like, hey, life, cool, it's life, it's bad, it's good, do it, yeah, woo.
Fair enough.
But yeah, Driver's Seat.
The only thing I wanted to say was the transition, like the part at around 14 minutes and 15 seconds is, to me, the culmination of this album.
Yeah.
So you find yourself in the driver's seat, down the fishing line, whatever the rest of the lyrics are. Like, when you're listening to this album and you get through the whole fucking thing and then you get to that part, it's just like, oh, like fucking, it's just like, it's like the greatest post-rock buildup of all time.
Yeah, it's an actual prog album.
Yeah. This is prog at its best.
Exactly. Yes, it's like, yeah, sure. 2 of the songs are 20 minutes long, and like a bunch of the other ones are 8 minutes. But like, it doesn't ever. It feels good that those songs are that length. It never overstays its welcome or like beats you over the head with something.
Absolutely agree.
So good.
So yeah, I think that's actually the answer to the final question on this one is why listen to it. It's the best fucking prog album. It's good.
It's like, it's all of the hopefulness of prog actually put into a prog album.
Yes. This is it. Yeah, I really do agree with you. Like, this is a rare album that is about hopefulness, that isn't like, some type of like fucking new age Christian rock or something.
Yes. Oh my god, I listened to too much Neil Morse before this.
Yeah. Excellent. So shall we move along to Black
When the sweet
Bonzo.
turns sour. Oh, Black Bonzo. Sorry. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm getting ahead of myself there.
I know. You're excited. There's a reason I left it to last, because there's, I think, probably a decent amount to talk about just because it's excellent.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sound of the Apocalypse, man. This album is like the perfect synthesis of like old school prog and like more modern music, I feel like. Like there's something that sounds so like old school about this to me, but it also like it doesn't have that same kind of like, I guess, hollowness that sometimes like older production, like it's like if you took modern production sensibilities and applied it to like, you know, an album from like, you know, the early days of prog, you'd come up with something like this.
It's interesting that you say that, actually, because this is, to me, Black Bonzo is like a throwback. Actually, to me, Black Bonzo is like it's an amalgamation of prog for sure, but also rockabilly.
Really?
Yeah. It's
okay.
like, have you ever listened to Volbeat?
No.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so there's a band called Volbeat, which is a metal rockabilly band.
Okay.
So it's like metal with like hip thrust band. Oh, it's Elvis. Inspiration. Hip thrust man. So I mean, Elvis. That's what Elvis was famous for. Is hip thrusts ultimately. I'm sorry.
That's it.
I'm sorry, people might be Elvis fans, but that is actually literally what he was famous for.
Well, hey, let's not sell him short. Also, pompadours.
Okay, that's true. Yeah.
Can't forget the pompadour.
Very, very. What's the word? Bejeweled hip thrusts.
Yes, especially in the later years.
And so to me, Black Bonzo is like someone has updated rockabilly to a rock band.
Interesting.
So I guess it's very old school to me.
I mean, so I think we agree in the fact that it feels like a throwback. I think you think it throws back further than I think it throws back.
Yeah, I think it's a really hard like 40s and 50s throwback, but with modern sensibilities, like you were saying. Yes, for sure.
So,
it's like especially the guitar work.
Well, the guitar work and also the use of, I mean, what I'm getting old school prog is like, it's that one, it's like right in Thorns Upon a Crown. What is that instrument that I'm thinking of? It's a synthesizer, but it's like around 40 minutes. It's like, oh yeah, it just sounds like a synthesized organ or something like that.
40 minutes? Wait, I'm sorry.
40 seconds. 40 seconds.
Okay. I was like, whoa, what? We listen to two Black Bonzos here? Oh, yeah, it's a pipe organ synthesizer, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, that sound is, and a lot of, like, the synthesized piano sounds in here or synthesized keyboard sounds in here are just, I mean, like, they're so reminiscent of, like, like, I'm sure that there's, like, a fucking, you know, like a Moog synthesizer in here somewhere and all that shit, like, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But I will just say, like, right off the bat, the one thing that I have to talk about is, and to me, one of the high points of this album is The Well at 4 minutes and 50 seconds.
50 seconds. Oh, I'm going to get to 4 minutes, 50 seconds in a second. Every intro, like every beginning of the song on this album is so hype. It's like they do such a good job building energy. And I love that sense of energy this album has. But 4 minutes, 50 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this.
And then fucking drums. Yeah. Drummers are gonna tell me if I'm wrong, but I think that what he's doing there is it's like a halftime feel.
Yes, I think you're right. Yeah.
And I just like, for a breakdown, like it's just like it's so fucking good, man. Like this particular track to me is like half the album of just like how great that little breakdown is. Of just like, oh my God. It brings me back every time. It's like, you know, from like fucking however many years, like 20 years ago when I was listening to this album for the first time or whatever. Like, so I don't know if it was quite that long, but how long, when did this album come out?
Oh my God, 2006? Maybe earlier?
So not 20 years ago, but 15 years ago, you know, when we were listening to this album.
2007.
Okay. So not quite 20 years, but a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away when I was listening to this album.
So wait, I just posted Volbeat's, like, one of their albums. Just listen to the first, like, minute 30 seconds.
Okay. I am listening now. Okay. So
obviously that's metal and it's different.
I can sort of see where you're coming from. I don't know if I totally agree. I feel like maybe they're just more similar to this because, like, I mean, that almost doesn't even sound that. I mean, like, I can see sort of where you're getting the rockabilly. I mean, because obviously they are doing a rockabilly thing.
Literally that, yeah.
With like the vocals, especially, like they got kind of the Elvis vocals, you know. But
yes, the vocals are a big part of it.
I don't know that when I think of rockabilly music necessarily, and I'm not that familiar with the genre, so
neither am I, honestly. But
so I don't I don't know if I could totally agree with that, because when I think back to like Elvis music and stuff like that, I can see where you're making that connection. It's definitely not the first thing that came to mind. I don't think you're wrong. I just don't know that I'm totally sold.
I mean, Black Bonzo is a lot slower, obviously, because it's not metal, but I feel like that same sort of energy of like the sort of like driving smoothness. You know what I mean? Like Black Bonzo is very smooth, but it's very energetic.
See, with Black Bonzo, I liken this much more to like pop prog. You know, like your Yeses and your Marillions and stuff of the world. Like it's, I feel like at least to me, and maybe that's just because that's more of what I've listened to than rockabilly, and so that's where I go. But I do want to say though that Volbeat, and I don't know if maybe I'll remember to put this in the show notes, but if not, Volbeat, the Human Instrument is the track. And you know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like fucking Devin Townsend.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, Volbeat is like the more popular. I think they're more popular. I think they're like the mainstream Townsend-esque.
I don't know if they still are. I feel like Devin Townsend is
I feel like they're I hear about Volbeat in like randomly on Reddit without like looking for it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I hear about Devin Townsend randomly on things, so I don't know.
Just what you're looking. Yeah, it's whatever that.
But yeah, because I mean, I feel like Devin Townsend definitely draws some huge rockabilly influences in a lot of his stuff. So like,
yeah, and I mean, obviously, almost all music is ultimately descended from rockabilly, because rockabilly is descended from blues, which is what all Western music comes from.
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
you know, there's a small tree that we're growing from here.
Well, yeah, because I mean, rockabilly was I guess partially or either an offshoot of or the base of the tree of rock and roll, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everything comes from there.
One of the earliest styles of rock and roll music. Yeah, so I mean, it's one of the low branches on the tree that is modern rock music.
But is that even when I was young, that's what Black Bonzo always was to me, was a rockabilly prog band.
Interesting. Okay, I never would have made that connection, but that is a very interesting one. Yeah, and I will say the only song on this, and I really like it, but the only song on this that really feels like that gets away from that into just straight up prog is, of course, the longest track, Sound of the Apocalypse.
Oh, Sound of the Apocalypse. Interesting. See, I thought you were going to say Ageless Door.
Well, no, listen to Ageless Door. Maybe I'm selling myself short. Well, yeah, okay, Ageless Door a little bit, yeah, because I could hear it. Like,
Ageless Door is definitely my least favorite. Everything else I love, but Ageless Door is the one where it's like, this kind of repeats itself a little bit, I feel.
Maybe that's why I'm not... Didn't really think about it, because, yeah, I think I would agree. Ageless Door is probably one of the lower ones on my list. Yeah. Now, I know you want to talk about the intermission, so I don't want to get past that. Jump into the intermission.
Oh my god. I just like, so many bands do like a bullshit, like, you know, I mean, we've listened to so many metal albums where like there's an intermission song that's like an acoustic or like a non-vocal like break track essentially, which is not bad. That's a good way to use that kind of song, right? That's like appropriate. But like here it's like, this is an actual song that they made.
Yeah, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, and it's like, oh my god, it's like, I want an acoustic album from these guys because it's so good.
Yeah, I like the little some kind of like a slide flute. Yeah, or just a regular. I don't know why I said slide flute. I think it's a
regular flute.
Just a regular flute. They're just playing it like in that kind of almost in that kind of what's it called?
It's folky.
Like,
I don't know if that's
Ian Anderson type of way.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Ian Anderson. Yes, 100% folky. Yeah.
Yeah,
yes.
Like Jethro Tull kind of like.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop. Yeah. I love Ian Anderson's like flute technique. He's just like, the man sounds incredible. Like, not to.
Yeah, and obviously the whole album is about the apocalypse.
Yeah,
I guess, because it's called that. I don't get that from the lyrics, but I assume. And like having that intermission revelation song is like, it's thematically appropriate. It's just like, I appreciate the craftsmanship of the album. It's like they really did a good job like making it all work, other than Ageless Door.
Yeah. I think I agree. Ageless Door is not really my favorite, but it's also funny because it's like, supposedly it's a concept album, but really, Sound of the Apocalypse is the only thing that really feels to me like the theme. But oh my god, Sound of the Apocalypse is such a great track.
Yes.
In world we're escaping, sending messages around the globe. Close to the apocalypse. God, fucking Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I mean, amazing. So good. And the rest of the album is also really good. Like, Giants games. I love Giants games a lot.
Giant Games is fantastic.
Yeah, the fucking solo in the middle of it.
What time?
Like around 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah. It's so fucking dirty.
One thing I might level at this album as a criticism is that it is very samey.
It is. I would agree with that.
There is a sound of the apocalypse, and they stuck with that sound the whole way through. So I don't think it's as good as, like, it's not a good listen to the whole album, but like each individual song is so good that it doesn't matter.
It's one of these albums that I love having like shuffled into my music, because anytime it comes up, I want to listen to one of the tracks.
Yes, exactly. And that goes back to what I was saying about like the energy. Like every song starts with like a breakdown or some sort of like pump up thing, and like immediately you're just like, yes, oh yeah, I'm ready. I want to listen to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting too. So I would have recommended either this or Doomsday Afternoon by Fido, which are both ostensibly about the apocalypse. So I don't know.
Yeah, I would have been very interested to listen to Fido again, because the last time I listened to it, I like couldn't stand it. I thought it was garbage. So I'd be interested to get another crack at that.
I think Doomsday Afternoon still really holds up. I don't know if I don't know what it is about Doomsday Afternoon. I think it's like, because there's that one song on it. It's like Micro Death Star or something like that I love. Like it's one of my favorite prog tracks of all time. Like it's hugely good. And like I feel like the subsequent follow-ups have never really reached those same heights. But like I also don't know if I'm still into like those big concept album like I don't know how I'd feel about having to listen to like the entire album like in a vacuum, you know.
Like, I just pulled it up real quick and skipped past Microsoft Death Star into Candy Brain. And it's like it's someone doing like major chords on an acoustic guitar while like the singer sings in that like prog rock like providing what they need, and it's just like, oh god, it's so bad. It's so bad. Oh, it's so bad. I would love to listen to that album again so I could tear it apart, or maybe love it again. I don't know, because it used to be one of my favorites.
Yeah, I mean, well, you know, as with most music from this period of time, Steven, you recommended all of it to me. So at one point or another, this was what you liked.
Yeah, I really only really the Flower Kings and Echo Lynn have survived. And Flower King's only one album. Echo Lynn's really the only band that I still like genuinely love all of their stuff they've made.
Interesting.
Because I like Black Bonzo, I like Sound of the Apocalypse, but the one they did after Sound of the Apocalypse was also good, but it was like it felt derivative of Sound of the Apocalypse. What was it called? I can only get the Swedish Wikipedia page for Black Bonzo.
I think that's because that's
Oh yeah, Guillotine Drama. Yeah, Guillotine, because Lady of the Light is also a really good album.
That's what, because I've only listened to those first two, and I love both of them.
Guillotine Drama is like, it was their last album, and I think that's because they recognized that it was
they ran out of ideas.
Yeah, they were like, okay, we're done. And I love Gazpacho, but I don't even think of Gazpacho as a prog band. Like they are to me the bleeding edge of alt rock.
It's interesting, by the way, that you mentioned Marillion, because apparently they toured with Marillion.
Gazpacho?
Yeah,
that makes 100% sense to me. They're very similar, especially if you listen to Marbles. Marbles is like it's the same sound as that Gazpacho album to a degree. It's not the same. It doesn't have the same themes, and so it's different a lot. Mm-hmm. But it's so good. Oh my god. I'm gonna have to listen to that. I'm gonna have to listen to Marbles actually. It's such a good album.
Yeah, maybe you'll have to recommend it to me. You know, maybe we'll finally do some prog bands. Who knows?
Yeah. That actually, if we do another music one, that will be one of the albums I recommend.
When, not if.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. I mean, other than that was basically all I had to say about Black Bonzo.
Let me quickly just go through. I mean, Yesterday's Friends.
Great.
I love it. Be friends. Yeah, Black Bonzo, I gotta say, Black Bonzo also does what we talked about the Gazpacho album doing, which it transitions really well.
And it's another album. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so many prog bands have these really long songs, like more than 3.5 minutes, which to me, anything more than that is long. And most bands that do that, like, I'm thinking, it's been too long since I've listened to prog. I can't think of any examples. I want to say Genesis and King Crimson, but I know I'm just pulling names out of a hat, and I'm not really thinking of examples, so that's unfair. But like they do the transition between rock and acoustic perfectly. without it feeling disjointed. And I really appreciate that ability, because a lot of bands don't pull it off.
In a way that King Crimson absolutely does not do that. King Crimson is so fucking jarring a lot of the time. Like in the Court of the Crimson King, I'm just like, oof, what is happening in this song?
It's been too long since I've listened to King Crimson, but I believe you, because that's the problem with prog, is they don't understand what transitions are and what like song structure and like is. They're like, no, we're gonna break all the rules, even the rules that like make sense for us to have.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, I've always like I can appreciate the musicmanship of prog quite a bit, but like I find that like I over time have gravitated to the poppier prog things like Rush and like Pink Floyd, not early Pink Floyd, but like late Pink Floyd, you know, when they were still making when they started to make things that were a little bit more listenable. You know, than like Saucer Full of Secrets, which is just like a thing. But
yeah, I've said this before, but it's like it's almost like there's a reason that pop music is the most popular music.
Well, and like
I mean, it's not just because it's horrible bullshit that idiots consume.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, if you have catchy music, people are gonna like it. The one thing that I will say is that like I think that it's it takes some doing to make virtuosic like sounding stuff be catchy.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah. No, there's a spectrum, obviously.
Like,
yes.
You know, you can like it's easy like it's if you are good enough at your instrument to be virtuosic, it's very difficult to hold yourself back enough to make something listenable, you know? Because it's like, okay, I could just make garbage, you know? And everybody that plays the instrument would be like, oh my God, like they'd be doing analysis of like, wow, he really, you know, those 16th note triplets over, you know, quarter note swing halftime were really like the pinnacle of, it's like, yeah, but it sounded like somebody going on a keyboard. So it's like, maybe it's not so good, you know? It's like technically impressive, but musically shit.
Oh man, I really want to also recommend a Joanna Newsom album, because I love Joanna Newsom and her stuff is really good and catchy to some degree, but people also wank over its like it's because it uses like semitones or something.
Polyrhythms.
Oh, thank. Have you already listened to Joanna Newsom?
I'm familiar with Joanna Newsom, yeah, because she's the harpist that has the like
the harpist, the child voice.
She has an interesting voice.
Yes.
Although
I only listened to her stuff after her child voice went away, so I don't even like her non-child voice stuff.
The thing is, she also, I think, and I haven't listened to it, but like, because I randomly I was thinking about Joanna Newsom, like I think maybe like 6 months ago or something. I was just like, oh, who is that really weird vocalist? I was like, oh, that's right, it was Joanna Newsom. Yeah. And like apparently recently she has gotten away from polyrhythm. She's like, I'm sick of them. Like I'm tired of that being my thing.
Yeah, that was a while ago. That was like 2010.
I'm sure. It's like, I mean, I haven't thought about Joanna Newsom in fucking a million years.
She hasn't released an album in 6 years. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Have One On Me was really her best album ever. So
yeah, I mean, I'm willing to. I've never actually like sat down and listened to any of her albums, so like I'm willing to do it.
I will definitely recommend Have One On Me, because that is a really good album. Yeah, that is also that's after her like big popular phase with YS. Yes. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it. But,
yes.
Oh, yes. Great. Yeah, perfect.
Leave that in. That's staying in the final cut. All right. But yeah, I mean, so I think that the Sound of the Apocalypse and TikTok both have the similar quality to me of like they go by really quickly, you know? Like I listen to them and then they kind of like, because I've listened to them so many times, like I have a hard time keeping them in my brain in the same way that like I found like I have more to say about the Flower Kings album and the Ekelin album than I do about the two I recommended, just because it's like every time they come on I love them and I want to listen to them, but I have a hard time
to work too many times with just these albums playing. My brain knows to turn off, and so it's hard.
Agreed. Yeah, I've listened to this too many times in the car.
Yeah, which is actually why I'm really glad I recommended When the Sweet Turns to Sour, because it's probably the album I've listened to the least to by Ekelin.
And so you said this was the wrong one for you.
I was.
And I'm ready to move on to it, by the way.
Yes, yeah, let's do it.
I think in retrospect, Of the Ekelin albums that I've listened to that aren't the one that aren't Ekelin 2012, which is, you know, as we've discussed, a completely different album.
Yes.
By basically what amounts to a completely different band. I think that I actually do like this one the most.
Oh, I'm glad, because when I first listened to this album for this podcast, it'd been like over a decade, and I was like, oh shit, did I recommend their worst album accidentally? But then listening to it a second time, I was like, oh wait, no, this is great. I love it. This is so good. And it also made me finally, this first song on the album, 100 Diversions.
Uh-huh.
I remember you talking to me the first time you'd listened to Ekelin about how, like, oh, I was surprised by how, like, off-tone and, like, really weird to listen to. And I never really got that, because it always sounded fine to me. But this, especially the first song on this album, it was like, oh, I finally get what you were saying. It's really, like, grating almost. And I love it, but, like, I get it. It's hard to listen to.
It's you know, we've been talking about, like, prog bands really leaning into, like, the breaking all the rules type of thing.
Yes.
I mean, that's why I wanted to save this one to last, because, I mean, they really do that here. Like, they make no attempt to make the music listenable.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's so nice. It's like the first song, it's immediately off tone. It's like he's singing flat on a sharp backdrop. It's so good. I love it. It's so good.
Yeah, they play a lot with just, like, I don't know, like it's kind of cacophonous music, you know?
But they use the cacophony to, like, bring it home. I don't know. Like it like there's a resolution eventually to all of the cacophony.
But yeah, I know what you mean though about, like, it's like there is just no bass.
Yeah, there's no bass. Exactly. It's like that was what they did wrong in the new stuff. It's like they were just shrill, loud folk music. I don't know. Like, and just like putting bass in there just ruins it. Like you just sound like every other rock band all of a sudden. Like, why bother at that point?
But oh my god, that album is so good. Oh, it's so fucking good. I can't get over how good that album is.
They just needed to release it under a different name than Ekelin.
I know. I mean, yeah, if that had been a Beardfish album, I think you would have liked it better.
Oh yeah, for sure. But it's they're trying to, yeah. So, like, you know, like on this first song, it takes them 2 minutes and 20 seconds to, like, stop being off key. And even then, they're still technically off key, I think, but it sounds okay at that point.
Yeah. Now, I will say 100 Diversions is probably, it's lower on my list of the songs on this album that I like.
Yeah, I mean, I love all the songs in this album. They're all really good.
I think, is it Another Day that I really like?
Another Day is really good.
Yeah, I love like the interplay, like the vocal interplay where it's like, you know, jumping between the two, like the two vocalists.
Yeah.
And then When the Sour Turns Sweet.
Yeah, I did not realize that was a Genesis cover.
No, neither did I.
Yeah, but I actually like their version more than the Genesis version, having listened to both at this point.
I need to listen to the Genesis version.
So the Genesis version is like, it's very like, it's almost like black metal-y, where like the production is very like echoey and like in the background. And Ekelin, of course, being Ekelin, they bring it all to the forefront. They're just like, no, right up there. It's like, we're going to make it bright. We're going to make it, like, snappy. And I love that. I love how bright Ekelin's sound is. That's probably my favorite part.
I think you described it well. It's trebly.
Yeah, it's trebly. Yeah. There's no attempt to, like, give it this bass backing. It's just like, no. We're a weird treble band.
Now, I will say, one of my favorite songs on this album is Meaning in the Moment.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
And that's the most like the 2012 album.
Oh, really? Because it's all acoustic. I thought the 2012 album was more like rocky.
No. The 2012 album still moves around quite a bit. You haven't listened to the entire thing.
No, I have not. I only listened to the first, like, 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think you need to... I feel like you would like that album more than you think you would like it if you actually just sat down and listened to it. But, I mean, I guess
I love everything Ekelin does acoustic. It's actually... I don't regret, but I probably would have recommended Cowboy Poems Free as another one of their albums to listen to for this. And, like, that one's way more acoustic in this way that this song is.
I mean, we could have... I think we could do that for a different one, just because for this one specifically, I wanted to focus on ones that that we listened to in the past. Whereas Cowboy Poems Free is not really one I've listened to. Like, I think I listened to it one time, you know, like a while ago, but I'm not as familiar with it as this one, which is like, this one's on my iPod, you know, like.
Oh, really? Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So like this one for me, it's like, okay, I know this album in a way that I don't really know Cowboy Poems 3.
I've listened to everything by Ekelin other than their new stuff relatively equally, so it's hard for me. And also, part of the reason I recommended this album is I just feel like it's the most emotionally poignant because like it is their breakup album.
Yes. I mean, even it's a posthumous album.
Yeah, posthumous. Yeah, it's crazy, and it's like it really brings the emotion to the forefront when you know that like they'd broken up at this point.
Yes, I mean, like it's so like it really comes to a head with like the end, like As the World, right? You know, because it's like it's like, okay, this is our last song before they kick us out. It's like because you know they've already basically been kicked out. You know, the label dropped them and all that stuff, and this was the end of the band, except it wasn't. And then they made my favorite album, and you hated it.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, the meaning in the moment I love because it like really encapsulates like the whole theme of the album. I feel like just this sort of like I guess I recommended 2 very different albums. I recommended a really happy album and a really sad album.
Yeah, no, I mean I think this album is really kind of, it has a lot of, I mean, well,
nostalgia.
I was about to say something very silly, and then I looked at the title of the album. I was about to say it's like it's kind of it's something that turns very bittersweet. It's like, yeah, it's this album is when the sweet turns sour.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just like, oh, like we had all this awesome stuff, and now we're gone.
Yeah, it's in the name, Jason. It's in the name.
Yeah, it's so good, and I really feel like also the album kind of takes you on like a journey because it's their songs from a lot of different time periods are in this. Mm-hmm. And so, like, it's a good sampling of what Ekelin's all about.
Yeah.
Like, they're more acoustic stuff. They're more, like, bombastic stuff. It's all in here.
It's almost like a concept album of their career.
Yes. And I love it. That's just, oh.
And, of course, it ends with As the World.
Yeah, which is great.
This album to me encapsulates Ekelin. And I will say for sure, I do not think this album is for anyone. In fact, I think that this album is not for most people.
You really have to have listened to Ekelin before you listen to this. If you've never listened to Ekelin, I would honestly probably recommend Cowboy Poems 3 as their most like listenable, especially if you're American. Cowboy Poems 3 is like based off of America and Americana. Mm-hmm. And so like it'll resonate with you in a way that most of their stuff. I mean, As the World is also pretty resonant, especially if you were like bullied as a kid. But oh my god, I just love all their shit. It's so good. Oh my god, they're just such a good band. They're such a good band.
Yeah, As the World, because there's that one song on As the World.
Yeah, no. So like Uncle, How Long Have I Waited, The Cheese Stands Alone, Best Regards. Those are all songs about like youthful regret.
Yes.
And I feel like it's really powerful in that way. Oh my god. Oh, they're just all so good. Oh, they're all so good. They're just such a good band.
But yeah, I mean, their sound is like the way that they are just kind of like so frantic and like you said, so trebly. Like the vocals bounce around, the dynamics bounce around. Like everything is very like skittery and like it's. I've never heard another band like Ekelin.
If you're used to like music sounding like pleasant music, Ekelin is a huge fucking departure from that.
Yeah,
they don't try at all.
And like after listening to it a while, like you get used to how it is.
Oh yeah,
and it becomes incredibly musical over time. But like when you first listened, you were like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah, it's like, did they forget to tune their guitars? And it's like, no, you forgot to tune your ears.
Yeah, exactly.
Song, the sweetest tear. What is that? That's Meaning in the Moment. Yeah, okay. I'm listening to Meaning in the Moment. I just like picked a random time, and it's like that is I think maybe the best song on this album though is Meaning in the Moment.
I agree. That's
just so good.
I think that's the kind of it's the most like, okay, let's slow it down for a second. We're gonna like, you know, this is the point of the album.
Yeah, and so like. In that sense, if I'd recommended The End is Beautiful, that would have been like maybe a better representation of the thing that I really like about Ekelin is that their ability to like slow down and like deliver in much the same way as Gazpacho did. It's like deliver emotion, just like really purely like, hey, this is what I'm feeling, and like you know me, I don't listen to lyrics, right? Like I don't know what the meaning of the moment's about. I've never listened to lyrics, but I can feel the like nostalgic sadness.
Yes, you have proven time and time again that you do not listen to lyrics.
Yeah, it's so good. Oh, yeah.
So, okay, of these 4 albums, what would you say is your favorite among them?
Oh, favorite's a hard word.
It is. I know you hate the word favorite.
Yeah. I mean, I guess Adam and Eve, but if I was to choose an album that I enjoy the most to listen to, it probably would end up being TikTok.
Okay, yeah, that's I think that's where I am as well. Like, I think if I had to pick the album that I enjoy listening to the most, I think it's TikTok, because like every time that album comes on when I'm in the car, I'm just like, oh hell yeah. Yeah. Oh hell yeah!
I guess if I had to choose an album, one album to listen to for the rest of my life, it would be Adam and Eve.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely the most varied, and it's much more of like it's much more of a thing than.
But I'm also much more likely to skip over a song from Adam and Eve.
That's the thing
in my car.
I think of all of the albums, I don't have a reason to skip anything off of TikTok. Like,
no, yeah, exactly.
It's just like every song is a banger, and I want to listen to all of them.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And also, like, you know, if Winter Is Never was not on the album, I might say When the Sweet Turns Sour. But because Winter Is Never is on there, the album is like a complete thing. Mm-hmm. It's like that rounds it out so well.
It is.
It provides all the emotional context for me. I don't know.
It is. It's.
I mean, literally. I mean, one of the lyrics in that song is so good. Just like, yes, so good. 2:20, 2:19, I guess.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
Yes, indeed, it is so good.
Yeah, no, it does. It rounds the album out so perfectly.
Yeah. So for you, Spatro also his favorite.
Absolutely. I like Black Bonzo a lot. I like the Flower Kings album for how uplifting it is, but like I like specific songs on that more than I like the entire album.
For sure. Yes.
Same deal with the Ekelin. There's specific songs I really like, you know, Meaning in the Moment, and you know, I love the live cut of As the World as well.
What'd you think about Currents of Me? Because Currents of Me is like very As the World sounding.
Yeah, I mean, it's another one of those like you gotta understand, like this one and Flower Kings, but this one especially is incredibly nostalgic to me. You know, like it's
crazy to me that this is the most listened to album of Ekelin for you.
I don't know if it's the most listened. I think As the World might be, but it's like okay, I think I only had like 2 on my iPod, and it was this and As the World. So
okay, that's my fault for sure.
Yeah, it is your fault.
I remember being in the hotel room and saying that to you as you said that. Yeah,
it's your fault. You are the one.
My fault.
Yes,
because The End Is Beautiful might be their most beautiful album.
I don't think I've ever heard it.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
So, so yes, yeah. This is completely on you. You did this.
Yep. I accept full responsibility.
That's good. But yeah, man. Anything else to say on this another incredibly long podcast?
Nope.
Oh man, Jesus Christ. God, there's 3 like 40-minute sections. I'm gonna have to cut this down so much. I talk too much about anime, so I need to cut a bunch of that out anyway. But
that's fine.
Oh boy. So yeah, I think next time it's gonna be Wheel of Time and The Witcher.
But Witcher's coming out soon. Yeah, I'm
Witcher's
excited.
coming out soon. Yeah. But I think, dude, this is the end of season 2.
Woo!
We did it, man. Here's to another fucking awesome season. You know, there's another one coming. It's going to start with The Witcher and The Wheel of Time. So strap in. I think that'll be our Christmas episode. So
nice.
Yeah, excited about that. But yeah, man, you know, for those of you who've been listening, you know, for 2 seasons with us, thanks for sticking with us. I hope to see you for another one.
You.
Yeah, and you know, fucking
tell your friends and family and get them listening.
Yeah, and strangers on the street, yell at them. Yeah, just be like, it's 2 brothers.
Yeah, just start dialing people's phone numbers randomly and telling them to go listen to it's 2 brothers.
Yeah, 000 0001
1
000
2. Yeah, it's your responsibility. It's all on you guys now. Just
it
FYI.
Is. Yeah, we've done everything that we possibly can.
We wash our hands of advertising.
Yes, I really have. I used to post on Reddit every time I put something out. I still post it, but like I used to post it on the podcasting subreddits, and I was just like,
one of these days the D&D podcast will come out, and I will start advertising us on that. But
hopefully, you've been advertising us the whole time, so that when it comes out, it will.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Start now.
There's never a good space because I'm like there's like 2 different Twitch streamers, and so if I open that Pandora's box, it'll never get closed.
Good.
So
open it. Open it as soon as possible. We've got to flood them in. Excellent. All right, man. I think
This is good.
I think this was it. Thanks, everybody. And we will see you next year for, this might actually come out next year, but we'll see you next year for fucking more podcast.
Yeah, after you've already seen both of the shows we're talking about, we'll release some reviews.
Yes. Some late reviews.
Yeah, the best kind.
Excellent. All right. See ya.
Yeah, see ya.